Be a fool to count them out right now. I think this is going to be a close game. Definitely a game that can go the way of Heroic. FaZe are the favorites, but we've seen them time and time again at the major, you know, slow down and ease into it in the tournament. So given it's the best of one and we're about to start this, I expect a close game.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your thoughts, gentlemen, as always. We're going to get into the action now. We'll try the banter zone again. Well, are we in?
Has just turned his monitor off, Richard. Can you please come up here and fix it? We are having technical issues.
I'll bring you a coffee
serious.
as well, Sir Chad. I'll be right there.
Oh, actually.
A cappuccino,
Yo,
please.
Rich, if you're doing coffees.
I actually will bring you one.
All right, yeah, nice one.
Love you guys.
Thank
See
you.
Bye.
Oh, but the match is paused.
Well, my screen is working.
You got it working?
Yeah.
Okay, we could have sent IT out here.
Okay.
And now we're paused.
Well,
we could have stayed in the banter zone.
it gives us a chance.
Does it make the same noise as the Twilight Zone? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I think it probably would.
That's a reference for the older generation.
There's at least 3 dads watching right now that found that entertaining.
Shout out to those 3 dads.
And, well, we'll find out who's the daddy between FaZe and Heroic. Are you up for this?
I think it's Carrigan.
Yeah, actually, fair play. Fair play.
So actually, Rain's an actual father.
He is an actual father.
An
yeah,
actual father.
He gets the brownie points on that one. I'm intrigued. Heroic are on the T side, so we get to see what kyxsan. You know, we've seen what Shuey has started with in the top 16 here at the Elimination Stage. Oh, and Frozen, the newest name in the FaZe jersey, has started with a bang, quite literally to the head of Nerds. Rain, the same, forced away. I do love watching Rain on Ancient.
Ooh, the molly.
He's dead. What?
How's he survived?
Oh my god! Rain finally brought down, but the damage was done. Shush and kyxsan have got enough space to plant. This is already... Dude, there's some serious aimers in the server, and we're getting a prime example straight into the pistol.
Well, especially with the type of Counter-Strike we saw from Shush and Tessus, right?
Yeah,
Those
man.
two were lighting it up, especially with the AKs. Now, this is difficult for FaZe to get back into. It is ropz and Carrigan, the leader and his lead henchman.
2 cave setup and 1 ram.
To tickle.
Yeah, they're not buying it. Ramp will check it. He has to clear this. ropz needs a clean one. Shush nails it on the clock, and it's Tessus to put the cherry on top. That's what he's talking about. Tessus G'ing up the boys, and I'm not gonna lie, a huge confidence booster is on the menu for Heroic today. If they can start strong, straight in, you know, we talked about this. They called it the challenger buff.
The challenger buff.
Yeah, from the former name, but coming in hot when you're familiar with your surroundings, the environment that you're competing in. And FaZe coming in rather cold. Let's see how much of a difference that makes, because at the moment, it comes down to a broky Scout 2.
I like
Scouts
it.
in the mix.
I think it's a good map for Scouts. You can find some tags, and if you can be proactive with the Scouts early, then you're going to be able to mop up with the SMGs later within the round. So this force buy and a double tree boost as well. So a little bit fruity, as the B lane is completely under the control right now of Heroic.
What's the theory here? Is it, with 4 starting A, you're just essentially saying we'll come back and have another go into the 3rd if you don't hit the A site?
Yeah, and I think, you know, this is something that's probably based off of homework.
Oof, yeah, no, he's in trouble already.
But a Scout is quite scary, so you would have to make sure you retool and execute proficiently if you do want to continue to hit this site. And Carrigan's already very low, isn't he? Nade, not far off the mark, all things considered. Carrigan, if you can't scare them away with a tag or 2 now, it's over. And it's over.
Forced in by the util.
Yeah, that would have been a different round if he hit a tag or 2 in the initial exchange.
Because they probably have to pivot.
And they go, okay, well, we're a little bit scared now.
Because, you know, when you get tagged up, you could do those MP9s or 5.7s, whatever they're expecting. Instead, we're just going to be seeing this one peter out.
Now, if people were with us for map number 1, I brought some skins trivia thanks to OwnerPicks. Well, I was watching last night, and I learned some more skins trivia because he was going through all of the pro players' inventories. He wanted to lend out some skins. It did seem a little bit desperate, to be honest with you. But regardless, go over to ropz for me if you could, Bastion. Thank you. So we'll take a look at ropz's skins. He's got some very nice skins, but one thing that OwnerPicks will notice was no stickers.
He's a sticker-free gamer.
So we'll see if that stays true throughout, but that's something that I learned. Alex, just wanted to share a bit of trivia.
I appreciate that.
It's always good to do in these down moments.
And I'm not like the most skin proficient, but I will say that that looks like a very clean MP9. Look at the float on that. There's not a blemish, not a scrape,
Same
not
with
a scratch.
the coffee delivery is there's
He's
a Red
actually
Bull as
done
well.
it.
Wow, look at this.
Thank you very much. Oh, that looks fantastic.
That's. I do. I am a. Oh, look at this. Okay. Well, thank you very much. All right.
Cheers,
We've
mate.
got a whole bunch of good stuff.
All right.
going
Well,
on
we
here.
are sufficiently caffeinated.
I'm gonna get hydrated.
Yep.
Cheers.
And we're ready to get the third round underway. So this second bite of the cherry, it's just the Carrigan scout that went down, so he'll be operating up with a pistol.
Yeah, you got given a 5-7, I believe.
Nice from Nerds, taking down Frozen and continuing his path straight up mid. Look at kyxsan getting tanked down by ropz. Good awareness of the timings. kyxsan's cut down before he can get across.
This is a scary round. I understand that it's just a double dip on the saved weapons, but the fact that they've had that early exchange, take a look at the util remaining. A couple of smokes, couple of mollies. There is the ability to still execute, but FaZe rejigging right now to clear mid. They want to group up together and search potentially red. ropz still... Oh, and yeah, by doing so, they've left this wide open bomb site. So Heroic enjoying the taste of B so far. 3 rounds in a row, they've found the finish. And they're in. Bomb goes down. 40 seconds thrust onto the clock, and away you go. Feels like just damage now, surely. How are you getting back into it again? It's the same conversation we've had 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah. And, I mean, the loss of Carrigan, it's probably the same kind of result.
I really like the way that Nerds conducts himself in middle. It's something that has been one of my joys of watching Nerds ever since the Endpoint days. One of Mighty Max's many poached individuals. They're giving it a look.
What kind of look is that? He's losing out on most of them. Taking Shush down is nice. Taking him down another. ropz is at least getting himself 3 SMG frags. I don't think he's leaving with that AK, I'll be honest with you. And yeah, 3 casualties for Heroic. But this is a dream start in terms of rounds, getting themselves the pistol and the following 2. It is time for guns, though.
Okay, well, the broky AWP brought out immediately. I don't know if the same will necessarily be the case for Nikodos. We've seen that he is actually very proficient with the AK. He doesn't always need to lean into the AWP, which, discussed in some of the earlier Heroic games during the opening stage, allows kyxsan's calls to stay a bit more flexible. And one of the times I first took notice of kyxsan during Apex was the calling that he was able to get away with on this very map. But we might get a mid-jaunt immediately. kyxsan through the flames, smoke to extinguish, and he's out.
Yeah, Frozen's found an opening. That's his second so far in 4 rounds of play. That's all immediately silenced him. You talked about his mid-prowess. And Rain is noted as one of the most proficient in this Jag Cave position. You can see how he's using that elevated angle to keep his head in a different levels of elevation. Can be hard to track.
Searching for info over towards main. This could be ropz. Well-timed smoke stalls out the round. A nade at his toes. And if they just finish B again, hey, you've got some real problems. You know it is. Oh, Rain with a spam. So he's able to find a lick of damage onto Shush. Carrigan is the B long holder traditionally, but the support of broky not too far away, and they're just creeping in.
Oh no, Carrigan's gone down to Shush, and now it frees up Testus. Look how many bodies there are. There's way too much to handle. broky!
Oh.
He nearly finds the collat between the legs of Shush. ropz, I mean, you know he's the A anchor.
Yeah.
So Nerds, woohoo, he's ready. He is ready to go. And so are Heroic. Let me take a quick look at the scores on the doors here, because, yeah, it feels like everyone's arrived already. Nikodos has actually got the most damage dealt. We've got Shush at 6. And Nerds, that was just his 3rd.
And you saw the smiles on the faces there of a few of the Heroic members. They're very happy with how this T side is kicking off. I've been loving the type of Counter-Strike we've seen from them so far, and just catching Carrigan off guard. He had no idea that they had leaked up so far. It was Rain the one who got punished by that. broky under pressure with the AWP, and Nerds ready for the ropz A push. Flicks into action as FaZe yet to find around this major campaign. That trade in middle as well. If you're kyxsan and you get traded by Nerds, and then you get to maintain pseudo mid control. You don't have full mid control, but you have enough that they don't have it.
Yeah.
You're happy with that. And then he gets to take a look at the bird's eye view of where everybody is, what we have left, how we get to finish the rounds.
But you're right in terms of B just being exploited right now. If you're FaZe, you're going to be kind of hankering for a solution to this B site that just feels like every time Heroic have wanted it, they've walked up and claimed it so far. Not sure how far the Nova's going to get him. And Tessus has managed to catch Carrigan investigating. A strong angle for him. He's ready for more. Frozen was very good for that one, though, on the MP9. The shotgun nails Nerds. This one gets a little uncomfortable. You've got 45. Nikodos on that T-side 8WP. He can't be the one to fight in. Frozen, however, has got some support from ropz. A nice nerdy nade from kyxsan doesn't find its mark.
But again, it's just an execute. Short and long smokes.
The same wallbang that really has been problematic for them. ropz is such a nuisance. He's in form. He is coming to Copenhagen on his A game. Sjuush evades the potential swing. Disappearing through the smoke gives ropz additional options.
Time.
ropz spams away. Sjuush, you've got 12 seconds. He's really rotting the clock here. broky tries to swing for the punish. You'll get it. This is problems, and it's ropz and broky to close. FaZe, they will post their first round of the Copenhagen Major, and it starts with a Nova on mid.
Yeah, not too bad, is it? Nerds goes down, and that was after the kills felt like they were falling in favor of Heroic, so they have been stalled and stunted by FaZe, getting it done with some punchy weaponry indeed. There is some juicy upgrades available, AWP, AK-47s, and a first round on the board. So that's a good one. Teslas had already gotten a kill from that exact position, and yeah, broky's Nova did come into play. Nerds, it was a little bit too far, and then time being the biggest issue, just jarring on the site, and the B plays stalled and stopped. I wonder what he's after.
Yeah.
I think that was just a member of hotel staff.
Just checking we're all cool.
Got a name badge.
Well, Rain is about to need to help out kyxsan. Oh, he's gone away with one onto nerds there. He was full blind, just good crosshair placement, the smoke on Cave. They are abusing this B bomb site, Chad.
They're abusing kyxsan.
How cruel. Oh man, you can just already feel the brutality of it from a CT perspective. Now that frag from kyxsan has almost sealed the deal by taking down Frozen. ropz just got one tap.
Whoa.
Down goes the AWP. Nikados, you talk about his AK skill. Here's a prime example. He just out-AWPs the AWPer holding his previous AWP. And Rain is in Cave only for a moment. Dude, Heroic look vicious right now.
And this is going to have to change your setup, right? So it's either going to do one or two things. It's going to soften your A defense because you might just want to give it up and maybe have a complete gap. Or it's going to take players away from middle to help kyxsan out on B long. Because you can't just keep having your in-game leader crept up upon, executed on, and isolated, right? He is obviously individually one of the weakest players within the whole server, and that's not me having a dig, that's just the truth of the matter. He's got a huge brain, and he's definitely very plucky. He can get stuck in on the T-sides, he likes good brawl, but if it's a heads-up duel where nerds is coming up the ramp and kyxsan's standing to deliver, I'm going to be back in nerds every round.
Yeah, right now it's a problem, and Neo's called the timeout. I think you actually just would rather use that 30 seconds to have the team screw their heads on tight. But yeah, if you were to watch this demo from kyxsan's POV, he's been wallbanged, he's been flashed, he's been molotoved, and every time a bullet between his eyes. The game plan right now for Heroic is going perfectly. Let's see if they can continue to adapt as FaZe, they already found one round with a lesser buy. Can they do it with rifles? They've got everything they need here, Chad.
But they're essentially calling the bluff. Notice how they haven't changed anything with the setup?
Smart.
Well, that's it, right? You're thinking, okay, well, if they're playing to condition, eventually they're thinking they're going to force us into something else. Now, it is a risky game that you're playing because maybe kyxsan's like, hey, boys, let's just keep doing it.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, exactly. That could be the case, but it isn't. And as we take a look at the radar top left, you can see there's two players in quick response time to deal with this towards A. broky, Temple, AWP, and ropz over towards Donut.
Out of curiosity, yeah, I wanted to see ropz's POV just because that sliver gap he's playing.
Well, Red will have to be picked up by one of the B defenders, but they are searching down ramp. So the info game flows. They know it's clear. On high alert, ropz and broky now.
ropz? He's being walked upon. Playing the fade, nerds and kyxsan. There's no way ropz can get both, but can he get one? That is going to be the difference maker. broky to be tested as well. Don't forget, the calls have been made. Oh, and the gap has been found. kyxsan slips past the two mid players. He's behind a main. The smokes are fading. kyxsan, good for it onto ropz. And three players collapse. It's broky's up that's left tagged and retreating.
Safe.
There's nothing for you here. Heroic are playing one hell of a game. Don't forget, these were the guys that are yet to drop a map at the major, or rather, yet to drop a game. through the 3-0 in the first stage of competition. And chasing that form, chasing that AWP. broky is going to get double swung. He misses them both. He's in trouble. I don't think he gets away with this whatsoever. He's a dead man to the nade. It's kyxsan with a well-placed trajectory. Rain jiggled out. Oh my god, they're abusing them. They are absolutely running rings around FaZe.
That's the team that's singing right now. The fact that on the hunt they've even been poised, right? Going for the jiggles, going for the jumps to avoid the AWP. I think that's fantastic. That shows that this team is playing at a very high capacity right now.
I'm convinced, Chad, just because of the psychology of human beings and the way we operate, there is definitely something in the water for TeSeS and Sjuush wanting to just prove, as they already have. You know, I would argue it's already.
Oh, yeah,
it's definitely been proven with all the people that have kind of left and departed them, not being present here in Copenhagen. But these two Danes, combined with such a talented force, Heroic have really landed on their feet, and now they're sprinting.
They know what type of buy they're dealing with. That's told by TeSeS into the Mac 10. This is 7 available for Heroic, as long as they don't trip over their own shoelaces. And Sjuush, he falls first. Nertz is in a bit of hot water, Alex. Another one would have been great. Now it's number advantage phase.
Okay, Carrigan. It has to translate, though, into a round. Frozen's got him locked in. TeSeS can't really depart. He's in cave. They don't need to force the issue, but the bomb's going into B. The smokes will allow that. And oh, Frozen did not expect TeSeS to be lingering around. Carrigan has continued to rack him up. How has he found kyxsan? A wall bang through the smoke, puts it all onto Nikados. Through long, Carrigan dead. A 1 versus 3 for Nikados. We know he's sharp. 9 kills so far already from the Dane. Death discussed. Nikados. It's been kind of rising to the challenge of Heroic.
Knows where the smoke came from.
Fake steps, drops down. There we have it. FaZe on the board. I will have to, review the fact that the 2 rounds they've won, Chad, have been with lesser weapons.
Yeah, precisely.
Like, you've got nothing convincing in your gun round.
Not at all. So, look, that's going to come down to individuals hitting some necessary shots and then cascading on top of the number advantage. That right there, Sjuush felt like he should have gotten 1. That's very uncharacteristic to see someone as solid of an anchor player like him just whiffing. And then Nertz as well, under so much pressure from middle as well as A, he's pinned. From there, it all kind of falls apart. You can just see how many blue dots started to swarm towards that B side. But speaking of B, back we go.
Yeah, the AWP's here this time. Different setup. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Carrigan.
matter.
That's the name of the game.
Nikados. A huge opening. And they know Rain likes a push. Straight into TeSeS. Straight into TeSeS. This is so good from Heroic. Oh. What are you supposed to do?
Now if they just go for the simple execute like they have done, the only problem was ropz pushing A main, which has been dealt with right now by Nertz, who's left middle to go and deal with any leaks. But with the smokes that they have available, I would say just a simple execute again. Short and long, use your molly, away you go. But FaZe are trying to play ahead of this, starting to gamble towards the B side. A search from Frozen, 1 head spotted.
Nikados is just going to be comfortable after backing up his
No, there's
aim.
2B. You now know it's an AK and an AWP.
Yeah, FaZe are trying to get ahead of this, though.
I feel like they still should finish B.
I mean, certainly, and with the minimap on our screen, it does seem like the wiser of the options, but this red smoke's being walked through. Frozen's getting a lot of audio, and now broky's gotten the frag, taking down kyxsan. ropz is here, the jig is up. Heroic trying to get into A with only 25 seconds left. They have to get past the AWP here. broky dead. No, what? Covered by Frozen. It was Nikados, had the opportunity. Now Nertz is the one in the clutch. He knows where Frozen is. Or was. Loud about this with only 10 seconds. The pressure is on Nertz. How does he get out of this one? He takes the fight. Frozen reigns and gets the double, but it's the clutch that matters. FaZe finally find a gun round.
Yeah, you just think, because I know that you knew there was 2 towards B, but as soon as you start throwing that utility, they're going to rotate. And that's exactly what happened. So thinking that FaZe would call the bluff, thinking it was a fake, rotate in towards A, the rotation time is there. FaZe shut them down and get their 3rd, turning into a 3-round game. Heroic, they bring Saw into the conversation. He's spoken about coach at the moment, gets 30 seconds to see if he can right the ship.
That red smoke as well, like it goes 2 ways. You could have thrown that red smoke and then gone back to B, and you'd have likely had a wide open sight. Weird to know that by virtue of X-Ray, but of course they're not. And it gave Frozen this opportunity just to confirm their suspicions. He was so close in the smoke he could hear at least 2 donut. Job's a good one. Maybe a bit of an overthinking there.
It's because as soon as they knew that there was two, they didn't just sprint into action, right? If they had moved immediately after understanding, it still would have been an equal rotation if both teams were just sprinting in that general direction, but giving up a brief moment of time has left Heroic scratching their heads. Now they're going to come in with 2 SMGs and 3 rifles. The signature MP7 for Nerds. They've been finding B success.
Carrigan, can he get anything done? Rain, is he going to be overlooked? Yes, he is. Tracking nicely, gets himself the multi. And just as easy as that, Heroic are escorted back to spawn. That's the most convincing one we've seen.
100%. And looking likely now for FaZe to tie the half up at 6-6. I know there's still a few more rounds to go, but the flow has changed, right? What was working for Heroic has now been completely stunted.
Yeah, and you always feel a bit silly when you die to a multi-kill from Cubby on an all-in B. Rain. Rain down to Nikodos, yeah. Quick reactions from Nico. 19 HP, broky will find him.
Nice fucking hold, Hobie. Good fucking flash, David.
And that's also the job of a good teammate, is just letting everyone know what they did so well, thanking them for their performance. The fact that he gets 3. The flash from David, you can see there is the assist onto Tessus, made that 3rd possible.
Alex knows him like that, but it's frozen, in case you're wondering who David is.
Yeah, excuse me, Cernansky.
And Horvey is Rain.
Shout out to him one time.
Oh, this is a Heroic economical.
They've thrown both the spawn B door smoke and the elbow smoke.
Trip nades for the mid jump up.
Whew, the airstrike.
Well, fortunately for FaZe, able to dodge all that goodness. And now this one should be a certainty. First frag found. Second, almost, from Rain. Lots of damage done. Shush, 1 HP. Tessus now down to 17. Continue to harass them is Rain. Carrigan would love to get a couple of freebies. Bullied throughout. There's one of them. There's another. And Rain showing you the jumping accuracy of the MP9. Nice little demonstration for everybody playing at home, as it is all 5 staying alive. And just one more round.
It's got a similar air to it as that hot start we saw from Ecstatic. Getting slowly clawed back
series,
away.
Right? Yeah. We do have Cloud9 versus Spirit coming up next. Donk at his first major.
You guys can't see him, but Chad is genuinely like a child on Christmas morning.
Well, look, this is the thing. Obviously, the bar keeps getting moved for Donk, right?
Yeah.
Winning Katowice is quite a high one to leap over, but now coming to his first major.
Mm-hmm.
So excited to see that one unfold on our screens. Just a quick little game crash. So we'll get this one back ASAP, don't you worry.
But there's just so many questions. Isn't it interesting just how much of a, divisive presence Donk has been in the scene? There are some people that are just kind of almost like waiting for him to disappear and fall off. There are others that are already kind of putting him in conversations that he's probably not supposed to be in.
Yeah, precisely right. We love to... It's the same conversation as we have with like teams and eras and everything like that. And I also think because of what Astralis did, right, or because of what Simple did, or because of who Zywa is, everybody has these cutouts of what they expect the next player to be. And when this kid is only 17 years of age, he just breaks onto our screen. He's doing things that, people are like, oh, there's nothing flashy. Yeah, because he's doing the basics right. Like he's just getting a multi-kill every round, essentially.
Well, one of the things that I find most impressive about Donk is how consistently he catches timings. You can watch, there's a lot of people that do the breakdowns of that, but the performances he put in on Katowice, where he was just so consistently finding the time, and that's through his perception, right? That's through his understanding of what the expectation his opponents have for him, where he constantly will find the window of opportunity where they avert their gaze, where they swap to their nades, where they're looking somewhere else. And obviously it's facilitated by great team play, but it's just to do with your individual awareness as to what your opponents are expecting from you, so you don't meet it. What?
It's all right, they already have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in case
backup orb?
But that'll end the Chad and Alex glazing of Donk for now. We'll return to that later.
We'll be back. We certainly will. This could be the AWP frag to open us up. broky holding that ledge angle. Past tense, he was holding the ledge angle. Instead, More passive hold. Carrigan's going for a jiggle smoke defense. If he gets caught out, that's enough from that. Thank you. Those pesky wall bangs do limit some of your options as a CT, and I'm intrigued to just kind of take stock of how they're approaching this B-side defense this round. They've got Carrigan playing close ramp.
Yeah, and one of the keys is Rain not forward in cave, spamming and harassing B lane.
Oh, Carrigan. He is going forward. He wants to just get a one and done. Set his team up for success as they're lining up their nades. He tries to catch the timing. It's a good flash. Oh, it's a smoke instead. Now they go through, and it's going to be kyxsan and Nikados just collecting the whole site down. Oh, God, it's gone horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. ropz tries to stand in the Molotov to try and catch him on the cross, but it's not to be. This round ripped by force out of their hands. Good find back from ropz. Tracks TeSeS.
Doesn't even really feel like it's something to work with.
No, not at all.
You have to go for this one. Now, sure, it's only a 2v4 situation. The bomb's down and already somewhat ticked.
Oh, that smoke was so telegraphed for the push. Sim will fall. Shush will trade. What have you got here, broky? Nothing. A helpless round for the Orba. He nails a shot onto Shush. Bomb too far gone. Nikados knows, goes wide. Heroic will lead into the second half.
Yeah, it felt like they were probably worth 7 with how the half started.
Yeah.
I think they managed to pick up their first 6 within 7 rounds of play. And 2 of the rounds they lost, one was to an A main push with a couple of pistols. The other was to a broky Nova and some good MP9 work from the likes of ropz. So the type of rounds that FaZe were able to post were definitely not the most convincing, but they've given themselves enough to work with. I would say that that's not the half they were dreaming of. 6-6 or 7-5 in the CT favor is probably more aligned with what the expectations would have been. But considering Heroic had such a great showing in the opening stage, they're warm in this environment, FaZe have had to come in and try and slow them down to kick off their major campaign. Great shot there from kyxsan to completely secure that B bomb site. In-game leader showing that he can pack a punch, as well as pull the strings as we do start to see the buys take shape. Nikados looking to give ropz a taste of his own medicine. A Zeus brought out in the hands of the Danish sniper. Red smoke, some leaping FaZe members, and Nerds sits Rain down.
They're coming his way. Shush well aware that Donut's occupied. Want ropz away from A main for now, but he's getting swung upon. It's Carrigan. Carrigan needed that. He finds the head, clears out A main, and now a post plant with advantage on the retake. Nerds has found himself too. It really hinges on kyxsan down to Frozen. Needs a second. TeSeS testing. He has the smoke, and he needs the headshot. Can't find it. Frozen keeping his cool. Tracks in nicely for a multi.
That's what.
And that's exactly what they needed. FaZe individuals aware of just how important that pistol was. In a best of 1, and you're down 7-5, it had to be a FaZe pistol. And a furrowed brown from Heroic. You can see Nerds not too happy with that one. Feels like he could have done more.
Well, I feel like he did more than enough, to be completely honest. They didn't really play together, did they? Like, I understand that Shush got isolated in main. That's a kill that, okay, fine. He couldn't get anything more done. He was pinned. Nerds got a freebie through the smoke at the start of the round and grabbed the second. It felt like if they had played more as a unit right there, Heroic, they would have had a better chance. So
Mid, definitely their focus. Oh, they're making no secret of it. You've heard at least 2 or 3. Spamming through the smokes and mid.
Nikados has to be very worried that they pushed all the way out close red, so you can see him backing off because they could be at the left or the right of the doorway. So having to completely relinquish control means that he can no longer be a... Oh, TeSeS heard something there. No longer be a forward piece. So they've dropped back red, dropped back donut, in more of a total setup. Nerds with a smoke to block passively, so it's not going to be the first leg of donut. It'll be the second. And Shush doing the same over towards main, so they can stall them out for 20 seconds or so.
Carrigan, this is where he does his best work on T side.
Shush just gave Nerds his smoke, so redeploy.
Carrigan's flirting with the idea of a, I was going to say nade on the smoke. No, he's just trying to keep that presence noted.
They have to go back to B.
Yeah, but
A seems so
35,
scary.
It's a bit awkward, isn't it? That smoke from Nerds has done a lot of work, and now Shush is going to start getting loud about this. Perfectly
kyxsan
timed.
has a smoke step.
Oh dear. Oh, they're pulling the strings perfectly.
25 seconds.
Ramp is smoked. You got to run through cave against 5-7s. Or kyxsan smoke. That's a big frag though. Karrigan opens up the threat from the back line. That puts Testis in an awkward position. He's worried about everything. Karrigan will find it. They overrun the site, and there you have it, FaZe. Whew, they were made to sweat. They were made to work. But I think Karrigan's frag certainly got those dominoes toppling.
You definitely cannot fault Heroic for the way that they used their utility in that round. They paused FaZe out all across the map, timed the utility to near perfection, and still got pulled apart. So FaZe, you had to fight hard for that one, but you will be able to secure 7 and tie things up. And Karrigan on the hunt, one of the Danes, and quite a legacy Dane, would be loving the opportunity to waltz out onto that Royal Arena stage here for the PGL Copenhagen Major. They would go absolutely wild for Mr. Finn Anderson. And he is the showman.
At least round, but we find solutions, okay?
Yeah.
All good. That was a fucking round.
That was tough.
Yeah,
I definitely wouldn't have wanted to be in that trap.
Oh man, that's high. That would get me so G'd up if Karrigan's just hyping us up, saying, "Yeah, we're going to find solutions." That's the objective. Even when it feels tough, we're going to find solutions.
I love the way that Heroic used their util there.
They put them in a really tough spot.
Yeah, a lot of teams would have just gone, okay, well let's flash and push through this. I'll take a bit of a risk, but FaZe found a way and took everything away. Heroic down to the Eek. Silent A main push.
Yeah, but I mean, ropz, this is it's not going to be the first time he's seen this on this kind of round. He's got the weapon for the job. Would certainly be flushed for cash if he gets the majority of these Eco Heroic players. Full focus, always ready. It's ropz. He's got support. And with broky and ropz putting their heads together, or make it just broky now. Yeah, you got the bomb, bro. Doesn't want to get caught out. And cleans house. Clean. Happy with that one. Don't know how Karrigan's monitor is shaking so much when he's in those engagements.
Well, like, look, for in-game leaders, Alex, when you grip your mouse, it's a little bit more intense than everybody else.
Like, not me, not me, not me. Timeout from Saw. Yeah, okay. He's seen enough. Second timeout called.
Important moment to do so. Getting the first gun round under your belt here on the CT side for Heroic can keep you battling back and forth in this. You lose this, well, it's going to be 9 for FaZe. They'll go up against another partial investment, call it 10. The guns come back out at a 10-8 scoreline. You lose that, well, the game quickly.
6-1 to start. Recovering the half into a 7-5 scoreline. It would look like it was going to be 6-6. That last round going the way of Heroic, though. And now with FaZe starting strong into the T campaign, it's time for that timeout to just resituate. Heroic looked firmly in control for the first half of our first half, but now we're into the guns.
Well, something that you noted was FaZe in the early stages of this one having heavy presence towards middle. Not sure it will continue on the gun round when you know that there's going to be mollies and HEs.
Oh, they are trying.
Well, at least considering it. Double mollies. So they've gone elbow and close. And then the smoke on top. So mid control completely under the remit of Heroic for now.
Shush is very confident in this. We've seen him do it multiple times, but this time up against a rifle. So he is at a good feeling that he can get away with this one. And yeah,
Micro jiggles.
It's just, yeah, it's what are you going to shoot at? His fingertips? Tess is making no secret.
He needs to be very careful.
If he was to do it again, you can see Karrigan would be in position to punish, but he's also a step ahead. Here's the cross. Deliberately audible by Karrigan, puts him into this angle that then they can double swing from Rain. Oh, he's ready. He knows how these fights work, very comfortable in them. kyxsan running out of bullets, but he does control just enough, conserves his ammo to take down Karrigan, yeah.
You think Karrigan should be trading?
I think he thinks he should be having that one. And now really hinges on ropz. He's not ready for this. Shush, too clean with it. And off the back of their timeout, Heroic return to a heavy man advantage into the first gun.
What damage can FaZe continue to dish out? Oh, broky had a spot, had a chance, but chipped down to 30 points of health. 2 Molotovs will buy the eyes. Frozen. Wow, he had the jump on Nikodos, but the clear. And now broky just looking for the save. Worst case, he goes down after time.
It's not going to happen. kyxsan spots him out. And broky does go down. Wow, that is a dream for Heroic. Just the one casualty. Tessa's the only one to fall.
Yeah, it really felt like Haugen should have been good for that trade. It'd be very frustrating to not be able to pick that one up after Rain gets like a goosh through the timber.
Yeah.
And able to convert this first one. Yeah, the fact that kyxsan, look, he's on 44 and down to 8. So, yeah, kyxsan just wildly coming in with the MAC-10, thinking the movement would get the job done for him, and kyxsan even finds another before the round ends. So, there it is. First gun round for Heroic. But it was a bit of a bonus for FaZe.
Interesting approach on mid. Frozen smoke.
broky was blocked there. I think he was trying to get back through to not sustain any damage from the nades. And they clearly have a couple of moves that they want to use to get back this B lane control.
Ooh, kyxsan playing with fire there, and it forces kyxsan to throw out the incendiary nade. Ooh, not quite on the money. kyxsan gets away. Tassis's wallbang's applying a lot of pressure. This is a high-stakes game of counter, and still looking well drilled on the CT side are Heroic. This time kyxsan passes his test. He actually provides the opening. 13 frags and counting. He's definitely not lagging behind, even if there have been a couple of missed opportunities.
And they tried to bully him within that first half as well.
They really did. So standing his ground. Looking to start strong. The first major on Danish soil. Nikodos flirting with aggression here. They know where he is. That nade hit him. That's going to be an unfortunate turn of events for Nikodos, and kyxsan smoked off, unable to contribute.
Should call it off.
I think that's the plan.
Okay, well, loss bonus will facilitate another buy as long as they don't get cleaned. kyxsan, Nerds, and Shush all having to hold on to these upgrades. kyxsan still hanging around to make sure he can buy a bit of a buffer for his teammates. But they definitely need to hold on to their goodies if they want to contest into the next. That loss bonus will be 2,400. It will be enough to put them in a position for a buy. But kyxsan couldn't trade in the previous, finds the opening this time round. And back and forth we go. We'll be keeping all 5 alive.
The late YOLO move here, David? I think it's going to be good the way they play, no?
Yes, we can do that.
The late YOLO move.
Oh man, it's cool, isn't it? It's so cool when you get to look under the
What did
hood.
you say, ledge yellow move?
The ledge something move.
You
yeah.
said ledge?
Yeah,
Okay.
did her ledge. And David, which obviously we discussed.
Yeah, it's frozen.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
He does seem to be settling in nicely, doesn't he? It was a big role to fill. Yeah,
I still think there's some proving to do, or someone else has to fill the void, because what Twist did in big games was have impact moments, like clutches or crazy big rounds that would change the tune of a game.
That's fair. This is interesting. This is Frozen's own designed smoke that he'll choose to walk straight out of, and already a lot of control, so under ledge.
It was the double mollies in middle there. So you saw that one was used the jump throw. I think Nada here highlighted that to land a little bit deeper, and then another one in towards the cutout. Gives the CTs nowhere to stand if they're not forward. They have the full mid control.
Feels like FaZe have got a lot of space right now. You're at lane, you have full mid, and you're peeking into the orb. He just looked away. Oh, great shot from Nikodos just before they get the molly out. kyxsan has his head blown off.
But Frozen will take the space regardless, which is important. You're reposing to Donut. broky has the bomb, Alex. This gets you worried, doesn't it?
Most definitely, considering the reposition from Nikodos, is the fight's going to be coming from multiple angles. Oh, hello. Nikodos spotted out, warded off by Rain on the rifle. But broky seems rather convinced there may have been another body in Donut.
Where do you finish?
Nikodos is rotating back
30
through.
seconds.
Yeah, and the bomb's red room. broky is important, and he's nailed it. Down goes the AWPer. Nerds on high alert. Shush, what can you do from this position? He's hearing them. CT might catch a beautiful flank here. They're not expecting this one. Straight out of the temple. Backs are turned. Bodies are dropping nearly onto ropz as well. But the round is done. Nerds makes sure of that one. And 9-9 tied right back up.
Yeah, that was huge from Shush, wasn't it? But I think for Nerds, the fact that he was stayed in Donut the entire time allowed the rest of the pieces to be a little bit more free in their rotations. So Nerds, once he was committed towards that right-hand side of Donut, just got to sit and chill. Shush with some impact. And as you mentioned, back and forth we go.
Really well played by Shush.
Finances still there for FaZe. They're going to call their second tactical timeout. Neo, an opportunity to get on the mic. broky can get into another AWP. AK is available for the rest. And the opening to the round went as kyxsan would hope. Said good against what they're doing, and it was. They were able to get that mid space. It was more about the finish. kyxsan gets picked off. They take the red space. They try and split A. Just one too many players over towards that side of the map for them to deal with. Here's the opener. Nikodos just with their little tips of the head spotted in this double from Shush. That seals the deal, doesn't it? Rain has to push the smoke. No real choice. Well, one of these two teams can look to get control of the economy. 1,900 the loss available for either of them. Someone mollies mid, but no follow through. Nert's actually quite passive. A-main push from Shush. He's going to tuck in and even has the oversight of Nikodos on the AWP. So it looks like he will get an opportunity to shut down kyxsan's info play, and it's more than an info play, Alex. Look at all the bodies. They were hoping for an A finish.
Good call. How diligent are they on their approach? kyxsan crouch peeks through. It's a trade by Frozen. Nikodos already being here makes it clear and repositioning. You can see they left the cache of smoke grenades for the A execute, but first they want Rain to work. How much of B lane have we lost? Smoke towards the ledge.
I feel like you have to retake middle or something, right? Like a red smoke.
You have no info on mid.
They're going all the way back through T-spawn. I think the fact that Rain is through is good news, but they're not going to be... Oh no, here you go. They are going to be noise bound. I was going to say, because Rain's through, can see nobody's forward. They should know that they can make a few sound cues.
Does ropz fake with all the smokes?
Maybe, but how scary is it going to be? I guess the
because
temple...
it's an AWPer, yeah.
How many smokes does he have, though?
3.
So if he smokes off temple, then...
Oh, only 2.
Only 2.
Okay. Okay, well then, yeah, the temple smoke not being present. Does it? I mean, Nerds is definitely rotated through. kyxsan now realizing it's all on him. His teammate,
I think the fake worked. I think it was genius. Hello.
And goodbye. See you later. Too easy. Comfortable. Tessus comes swinging through, and Heroic will leave with the 10th round. They take the lead. They take control of the economy as you prophesied.
Well, that's a limp fake. You don't want to be going to work with something that's not fully functional.
No, sir. No, sirree. Okay, yeah. I mean, you can see that they were trying to find a solution, but it wasn't particularly convincing.
Not with the amount of time on the clock, because you're fully committed to that type of a play. And Nerds, like, thrusting himself close A main, I guess he's also secure. He's like, hey, guys, no, seriously, there's nothing A. I'm ahead of the... I'm actually basically in A main. So kyxsan bides his time, denies the plant. Tessa swings into action as well, and this was the opening exchange. kyxsan's round removed, and kyxsan in the last 2 removed early. So if you're looking for your player to take the risk and get you some map control, he's dead. Normally it's him and Rain. And now look at this type of a buy. They are frazzled. FaZe could be falling to Heroic. We just had Vitality lose to Eternal Fire.
See how this one goes, because it is going to be a bit of an AWP head-to-head. broky got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. With only a Glock, you'd expect kyxsan to kind of get that info. The Shadow and Fire connects. They're not ready for both of them. The setup noted. Good work from ropz. Needs another. Nikodos stands his ground. Need another. Whoa, Rain manages to get the double on the Glock. Headshot. Pull the plant, that's important in the grand scheme of things. The nade, the spam, it's perfect onto Rain. What have you got for us, broky? Around that broky box, now backing away. kyxsan and Tessus up against broky. Can he find the impact? This would be exactly what the doctor ordered for FaZe as they are starting to hemorrhage rounds. He's going to be cleared. Quick scope impossible when kyxsan's hitting the first bullet out of his rifle. Heroic edging closer to causing the upset to start off FaZe's campaign in Copenhagen.
Now we're getting fired up. You've got enough money for residual buys. FaZe are scrambling right now, and Carrigan in 3 consecutive rounds has given up the opening death. That was one where he didn't have a gun in his hand, sure. But the in-game leader, being the lamb to the slaughter, hopefully he can be a martyr and start to establish at least some inspiration for the remainder of the team, because right now it was pistol conversions, but it's been 3 consecutive rounds for Heroic now. 2 more on the trot, and this one is all over. FaZe will go down to that 0-1 bucket.
Yeah, that bomb plant has saved them, quote unquote. At least gives them a chance to defend their honor. Oh, Rain's getting pushed. Rain is getting pushed. Look at the flashes. They've all run past him. How has this happened? And now from behind, Nerds should go down. He's just holding down Mouse 1. This is chaos. Utter pandemonium. Tessus pushes back through, wondering how Rain got there. Down goes the bomb. Carrigan could be the next victim. Shush is locked down mid. A triple on the spray. Oh, and FaZe, they had a way in. They had an opportunity, but now it all rests on Rain. Shush towards Red Room. Baited out. Smoke towards the red. Might give him some room to stretch his legs. How has he gotten 3 there? How has he gone down the way? They take B lane control. Rain has a power position. Nerds gets 1. But it's Shush's triple. They're playing retake B, and Rain starting to magnetize towards the second letter of the alphabet.
You take another plant, 2,900 loss bonus into the next and potentially final round. So if he's able to get this down, it will facilitate yet another buy where FaZe can have some form of rifles in their hands. But he's so worried about anybody hiding behind these pesky corners. 35 seconds, and as you mentioned, that retake setup will give it away. Now, if he gets it down, see, he's so worried. He's clearing everything out so that he can just plant. But as he walks further away from the site, he walks into the hands of kyxsan, and they do not get that bomb down. It's only the loss bonus coming through. I'm telling you, they get the bomb down, it can be Galils and AKs with util. Now it's going to be messy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a little. I mean, can't really fault Rain for being convinced there must be someone. But kyxsan, his kind of proactive reposition really caught Rain off guard.
Gave him enough rope to hang himself right there. And yeah, I have no idea how they come out of cave and they don't see Rain. I understand there was plenty of flashes going on, but the CTs, I'm not sure how they would have been blind. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Shush, the hero of the day. Here it is. So Rain just on the cusp, and
that's crazy. That is crazy.
Actually ridiculous.
Yeah, and yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't matter thanks to Shush and this beautiful handiwork. He doesn't get 3 if he doesn't have the M4A4. Perfect weapon for the job.
Better gun. Just
that's what they're saying.
A more expensive price point.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Well, they've got cash to splash. Yeah, I can't say the same for FaZe. Look at this one. You've got enough. You've got your full 5 smokes. You just don't have the flashes to facilitate all of that info.
Well, this is the thing, though, right? So let's talk about just the standard round that you'd open up with on the T side. If you want to do something where you vie for control early, you're going to smoke red, and you're maybe going to smoke off towards cave. There's 2 of your smokes gone. If you want to harass middle, so Nerds just can't have free control, you're either going to double HE or molly, right? You're either mollying up towards heaven or double HEing his push. All right, well, we don't even have all the nades for that right now. They take B lane control. We need a flash over the top. We probably need a molly pocket. Oh, also, we're worried about a B ramp push. We need to molly that at the start of the round. Okay, I don't think you have enough nades for that phase.
No, you don't.
So you have to play slow. So if you play slow, they're going to establish control, and then the AWP can post up. Nikodos has that firmly in his grasp. They've got a couple of AKs in the mix.
Oof, yeah, I mean, you know, it can be the best call in the world. If you don't have the weaponry or the utility, it's bleak.
Time to hit some shots.
Yeah, it is. It's time to really get into the aim DM. You need 3 rounds consecutively, otherwise Heroic are going to throw one hell of a first punch in their campaign towards the top 8.
And it has, you know, once we recount the rounds, and I'm sure the desk is going to do it once we get to them, which could be in a moment's time, but the type of rounds that FaZe were winning were through individuals overrunning them with pistols or shotguns or SMGs. As far as the gun rounds are concerned, I think Heroic have done a better job.
I tend to agree. Talk about it, there's Nerds doing exactly what he wants. Full lane. Carrigan's going to try and punish him. Oh, he's there in time. Nerds down after one. That's a big trade from Frozen. He keeps their hopes of continuing play here. Forced forward by the Flames. And Rain, another compulsory frag. Tessa's dead as well. They've given them the frags they so desperately sought after. Nikodos should have one back. Yeah, Rain unprepared for the AWP, but that's information. The loss of the Norwegian, Shush, and his teammate Nikodos on either side of the map.
And one of the keys here is the duel between Shush and ropz, and it's more about what territory has been given over or who's going to push into it late. These two play quite similar. Shush could ruin the hopes and dreams. Steps out, ropz down, 2v2.
That's impact, baby. Back-to-back rounds from where Shush has given Heroic the weaponry and the frags they need. Smoke to try and get broky across. He'll miss the shot, but they're going to try and walk on him.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, Nikodos is not expecting this. His back is turned right now, and there's Frozen. More impact from that Galil, and now the bomb will go down. It's just disconnected. They know he's the A anchor. Picks himself up a smoke.
He's good in the clutch.
Has the kit.
They've got money. He can give this one a go.
And he's looking to end it right now off of his own handiwork. That's a very well-timed smoke for Shush, and it's so deep that he's going to be walking through grey screen. He throw one of his own to change that. Flash and go. Maneuvering through the smoke. And it's Frozen! That's one hell of a round from Frozen. Chad, you said sometimes he's not finding some high-impact rounds when they need it most. There's an example of Frozen doing just that.
And the proactivity punish from Heroic, right? They give away an opening exchange in middle. They all start pushing, and the picks keep coming. If you're going to put yourself in the crosshair of FaZe, they can hit the shots. And this was on display. For kyxsan giving away an opening, but traded by Frozen. Rain gets one on a kyxsan, and that's great. But coming through a grey screen, Tessus looks desperate. Nikodos is going to be punching his desk. He did such a good job with the leg. Wow, actually, you know, that leg is a kill. That's their round. There's a 2v1 situation. The game is done. Now it's Heroic into their third and final tactical timeout. They've just exhausted the bank balance completely with their buy. Their loss bonus going into what might be the last round will only be 1900. FaZe might have put themselves in pole position to take us to overtime.
And what's so stressful? Oh, didn't want to talk over that. Yeah, sorry about that. We heard something about a retake smoke, but...
He also wanted someone to go into A main with him.
Okay. But God, Counter-Strike is a stressful game, isn't it? You've got no margin for error here, FaZe. They need a run of 3. You've weathered the first storm, but every bell, whistle, and weapon required for this to finish here in round 23. Heroic have got plenty. Carrigan making no secret of his arrival. Molotov off initially. Being very loud about his presence on A main, hoping this instigates a reaction.
It's a good reaction though, because if they just sat so far back for the entire round, they would have had no info.
They just flashed and cleared out lane as well. So I'd argue a heavy advantage for Heroic at this point. You've heard a lot of action A. You've called B clear. Shush commits to a passive hold, hoping to go uncleared. The bait from Nertz is perfect. It does damage. The nade is landing. Shush, not going to be cleared. Oh, this is dreamy. He's got the opportunity to end it. Frozen will manage to find the trade. Stops the bleed. Into A. broky to plant. Nertz tries to line it up. He denies it. That is massive. He has really turned the tide of battle. Carrigan in a hard angle to clear, but Nikodos does it anyway. 2 frags away from Heroic. Picking themselves up the win to start off here in Copenhagen. The top 16, the elimination stage. ropz finds one back. 27 and counting. 2 towards the donut position, but it's just Frozen. Oh, what a peek! He's finding every frag he needs. Maybe there's a clutch available to ropz. He's only got 16 seconds though, Chad. He needs to find and isolate this duel not being given to him. Fake plant, they're not temple already. 9 seconds, kyxsan. Donut finds the frag. Maybe he can do this after all. Charging at him, kyxsan. He could end it here. It's ropz in the clutch, but ropz is one sharpshooter, and kyxsan takes it. That's gotta feel good. Heroic start with a win. Nertz on that denial, I think that changed everything.
Yes, indeed. It drew resources back. They couldn't worry about the rotations in, and kyxsan, the leader, the desk were discussing one for the future, or one for right now. Heroic picking up their opening game of the elimination stage.